Well, it was bound to happen sooner or later, and I finally just took the plunge and picked up my first Haya figure here for my Kong collection. Um, I knew eventually I was gonna get a Haya figure, if nothing else, at least Scar King. Uh, SH Monster Arts is a little too pricey for me. Can't really justify that. But Haya, like I picked this guy up for 75 bucks Canadian, which is pretty good. That's in the range of what I consider acceptable to pay for a high quality adult collectible like this. It's just a question of getting the right one. And I want Scar King. I still want Scar King. And that'll be a great spring 2027 when Scar King finally comes out. Might replace the Playmates Scar King there. We'll see. But I had seen this figure and the criticisms of it. It doesn't look exactly like the movie, whatever. But I thought he's a cool looking Kong. Skull Island Kong is actually my favorite version, a MonsterVerse Kong version. I thought he looks the coolest. Not as big a fan of like husky, like thick boy, old man Kong. I like the Skull Island Kong. Supposedly this one doesn't look exactly like the actual character in the movie. We'll see. We'll find out. But I like the accessory there, the tree, and it was cheap. I had money in my wallet from tips and wheeling and dealing on Facebook Marketplace, and actually saw this somewhere and thought, hey, why not give it a go? So why don't we crack this guy open and see what I think about like my first Haya figure? Well, why bother getting MonsterVerse? I'm not a big MonsterVerse fan, right? Um, and I wasn't really planning on getting. Uh, oh, he's upside down, apparently. I wasn't really planning on getting this one either. I thought he looked all right. But again, I collect 33 Kong, not MonsterVerse Kong. But, it was there. It was money. Bought into the hype. Bought into the Monster, not the MonsterVerse, the Haya Toys hype. And thought, what the hey, why not? I'm not planning on getting the Skullcrawler, I don't think, because I'm not really a fan of the Skullcrawler look. I don't know. I have like a bias against monsters that only have two front legs. I don't. For some reason, it doesn't look good. And I think the MonsterVerse is generally pretty weak when it comes to designing monsters of their own. Um, the ones they inherit from like Toho are fine. In fact, I think the Rodan is like the best looking Rodan. But the um, their original monsters are all kind of like I find them kind of goofy. They don't really work for me. Um, so I don't know if I'll ever actually pick up a Skullcrawler or not. Um, but oh, it does not have holes on the feet. That is not so good because I need the him to fit uh, the NECA figure stands. Hold on here, just some things. All right, so here he is. Um, I like him. He looks good. I mean, I gather that yeah, he doesn't perfectly fit how Kong looked in Skull Island, but that's okay. Um, like I said, the Skull Island Kong is actually my favorite MonsterVerse Kong. I'm not a big fan of the thick boy Kong. Um, I like the slightly svelter teenage Kong. This is like a hybrid of them. This is Kong from the Kong movie that should have been between Skull Island and Godzilla versus Kong. Um, okay, I'm so careful. The last thing I want to do is break this guy out of the box. Um, yeah, it's nice. It's a 6-inch figure, so it doesn't quite scale with like the new sort of industry standard of 7 inches, like the NECA figures and the Mezco Kong. In fact, here let's compare him to Mezco Kong. There's Mezco Kong. Here is his little buddy version of Haya Toys Kong. So that's not too bad there. Just off to the side. Steady, Mezco. Yeah, comes with angry face. I like this face though, actually, kind of snarling face. I already got angry face on Mezco there, so that's not bad. I got some fists, so that's all right. Um, that's the hand for holding the tree trunk. Can hold like a bat, and then we got some some open hands here. Cool. And then we have the tree trunk, which is the best part. Do a total King Kong versus Godzilla here. If I had an equivalent Godzilla figure, they could stuff this down his throat. Well, let's see if I can actually change things up here without destroying it. So far, so good. I have a bad track record of breaking stuff on camera. So, let's see, that's not going in. I guess I have to be a little more aggressive with it, which makes me nervous. There we go. Yeah, nope, not quite. I thought, no, oh my god. After 2005 Kong, where Kong was just a giant gorilla, I thought that the Kong Skull Island version really had the best sort of recall to the original Kong, because Kong is not. Oh, they're nice and rubbery. That's perfect. Get in there. Because yeah, Kong is not just a gorilla. Kong is he's an anthropoid ape. He's not just a gorilla. So to do him as just a gorilla, he loses something really in the translation there. So I thought that they really nailed sort of the anthropoid ape sort of look of Kong for Skull Island. Like perfectly. So and the slightly svelter. I mean, this he's a little bit thicker. So this is like the Kong from the movie that should have been between Skull Island and Godzilla versus Kong. But yeah, I'm not. Excuse my burp. Jeez. Yeah, he's not not as big a fan of thick Kong, and the beard. The beard kind of weirds me out. It's not quite as bad as like with Godzilla, where like I really don't think of MonsterVerse Godzilla as Godzilla. I think of him as Godzilla like dinosaur monster. It's not like really Godzilla. I kind of have a little bit of that, like a teeny bit, not as pronounced, but a teeny bit of that with Monster vs. Kong as well. Because to me, 1933 Kong is Kong. That is Kong. And my Kong fandom is as I have said many times, is not so much the monster as it is the movie. I'm a fan of the original movie, and so, but that's it's not quite as important to me either. So Monster vs. Kong is okay, but yeah, I think Skull Island is the best of the MonsterVerse Kongs. And there he is. He's ready to roll. Ready to take out Skullcrawler. Probably won't get the Skullcrawler. I haven't even seen it around here actually. So yeah, he's like ready to. Yeah, this is a nice little figure. I gather the new one they just announced. He's got like 3 points of articulation here. Like he's got an ab crunch in there. So everybody's raving about how much better it is and how it's like direct off the CGI models, so it looks better. Like this is clearly sculpted from Skull Island. It's not the CGI models from Skull Island, but it's still a nice sculpt. Yeah, I'm not as big a fan of that Kong, so I'm not gonna take the effort to get that figure. But I definitely want Scar King. That's the number one thing. And based on this, and I'm fiddling with him here, and the fact that he's got this tree that so wants to do the King Kong versus Godzilla stump down the throat. I think if they come up with a Heisei or like a Showa Godzilla, which I think they are, there is I think it's a Heisei Godzilla Haya is making. I think I will need to get a Godzilla, like a classic Godzilla, in the Haya format, so that I can reenact me some King Kong versus Godzilla. So yeah, this is nice. I like this little figure. Hi everybody. I'm glad I got him. Come out with your hands up. Drop your weapon. Yeah, I like this little guy. Yeah, he's good. And this this encourages me for when Scar King comes out. It's nice to see a Haya figure firsthand after seeing like photos and reviews and everything. To see the real deal firsthand here. Um, Good paint apps. I mean, it's better posability than most. As you compare to, again, my favorite. The Mezco is my favorite Kong figure. I think the NECAs are good. Um, Renditions of 33 Kong, but this is just like a nicely sculpted figure. Um, yeah, the this has less posability than the Haya one for sure. God, I haven't even moved this guy in forever. He just sits on my shelf in his one position. Um, I do wish the Haya was 7 inch rather than 6 inch, but then I can see where scale wise, when you start to get like this huge figures like Ghidorah, um, that would be a challenge to do him in the 7 inch scale. Nice to drop it an inch for that. And now that I've got this, part of me also even might want to get Ghidorah just so that I can do like the King Kong versus Ghidorah that is from that old Asahi Sonograph magazine cover or pinup or whatever. Plus, I'm convinced that the MonsterVerse gets Kong totally wrong in that a giant Titan-sized gorilla would be the scariest monster that has ever lived, and Ghidorah would like just f off of this planet just to get away from it. Um, but whatever, no one agrees with me on that. But yeah, great figure, and yeah, this is a nice way to spend some of my floating tip money and wheeling and dealing money on this little guy. And just what's my appetite for Scar King? Hopefully to come out. Come on, Haya, get on it. Give me Scar King. Give us Scar King. Scar King is the boss. All right, there we go. And there we go. Perfect. Yeah, that's actually the right scale too. Nice. Um, yeah, Haya, get on Scar King. I will not be happy until you give me the thing that I want. Um, yeah, I could definitely see phasing out the Playmates figures for the Haya ones once they come out. It really feels like yeah, the Playmates are like a playsetter for where the Hayas will go eventually. Anyways, there we go. That's another Kong for the collection, another stupid toy video I was gonna watch. And we'll see you next time I buy some toys.